Hello, my name's Fox, and until again, I'm with Fox. That door opened. And welcome to my, review of Samurai Rabbit, the Usagi Chronicles. I watched it all yesterday, and I finished it today. Which, maybe it's more along the lines of nowadays, I'm more noticing it more, because maybe I didn't notice it back then. Or, really back then, it was probably, they were probably more called demons. I think that's the most English equivalent term of yokai. But I feel like yokai, I never really noticed yokais that much until in more recent years, the name of yokais and stuff like that. Mind you, I'm trying to think, because I'm pretty sure that maybe at the point there was a character in an anime I watched back in the day that was named Yokai or something. But I think the first mention I ever heard of yokai, at least for me here in America, the first bit of yokai I ever heard was it's a Shonen Jump manga. I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. This one right here. Yeah, this is it. Oh wow, they have all. They literally have. I think it's either intentional. Or, I think it is unintentional. Have all of them lined up. I think how they're supposed to be. But this one. Nura, the Yokai Clan. I remember watching this one. I kind of liked the idea. I never finished this manga. I really want to, at least watch it. But I liked the idea of there's this 1,000 yokai festival, or whatever, and stuff like this. And then the Yokai King. Even though this, I think that's more something made for the manga. Unless there's a legend I'm missing that I couldn't find. Because I looked up. I tried to look up what yokai is he? And I'm I can't find shit. But yokais are really cool. They're honestly really cool. Even this show, I think, plays around with it a lot. Really cool too. Also, I completely missed in this trailer the part where he literally straight says, let me see. Does it say in the beginning?
I'm Yuichi Usagi. I've always dreamed of fighting yokai, like Miyamoto Usagi.
Okay, I'm pretty sure somewhere around here he says, my grandfather before me, or great-grandfather. So, they try to say, this is not the same rabbit from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though he is the descendant of it, which, Mr. Styro, actually, I believe, he actually told me to, this is based off of a comic around. I'm oh, okay. Which, other than that, I actually really like this one. I like this more than I thought I would. I like the show a lot more than I thought I would. And the reason why is because obviously, it's kind of cutesy. Kind of. Not really, but, this is, watching, I'm alright, I don't know, sure, obviously, I'm not sure how, not dark, because that's not what I mean by it, but, it felt this would be okay, we just need to turn out a cartoon, let's turn out a cartoon. I thought that's what this was going to be. Turns out, no, it actually is done extremely well, for the points of, we do have the cliche of okay, I have a famous ancestor and I want to be just like him, kind of thing. But it turns out, no, he gets to town and he finds out that his family legacy, I guess, is that his great-great-great-grandfather Miyamoto Usagi from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rabbit, which they're from another dimension, which I was oh, okay. And then I'm oh, right, because Krang and stuff is actually from another dimension, if I remember correctly. So I was alright, yeah, I forgot about that. That's probably how he meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So he finds out that his ancestor apparently killed the Shogun back in the day, and he's just evil. He's just an evil bad guy. And he's what? No, that's not true. Comes here, accidentally releases all the yokais, and then basically kind of has to put them back together. Though, again, where the show is different in a few respects is one, the yokais aren't necessarily evil. Some of them can be. Even this one, kind of spoilery. You find out a little more about him. It's oh, okay. But, yokai aren't necessarily evil. And a lot of times, and some of them can even be good guys, or what is it? There's this character. When I saw her, which I thought was a guy at first, and then I heard her voice, and then I'm oh no, yeah, okay. Then again, voice-wise and look-wise, you can... Anyways, beside the point. She is a badass. And when I saw her and like she like goes, "You're very skilled, rabbit," and stuff like that, and she kind of flies off and shows that she's not a bad guy, I'm like, please tell me she's going to become his master. And she does, which I'm like, cool. And like, I like that. And also like when he meets other yokais at one point, it's like, these guys are just literally here because this place has been abandoned. They're not kept up right. Because that was kind of I know it shows like the idea of like where like these stories come from, where the stories of yokai stuff come from. Where Japan, it's like, honor everything, or honor things, and don't let things just decay or rot away. It's show them respect, honor, and keep everything up to date, stuff like that. It kind of shows that thing. That's also why, like, it shows like I would say climate. I don't know if that's the right wording for it. Like the culture at that time where these stories were written, similar to something like in the Grimm tales, or the Brothers Grimm ones, where it's like, oh, don't go in the woods. There's witches. There's the big bad wolf. There's this, because you needed to tell kids, stay the hell away from the woods. There's death in there. So, in a sense, it's a similar fashion. Don't, take care of your things, or yokai will possess it and, start licking you. Or attack you. And mind you, yeah, some of them are, some yokai are still bad guys, but I like the balance of it. Like, this guy's still a bad guy, which he's actually, like, really has a raw kind of, backstory where, like, he's made up of the bones of people who died in war. I'm like, oh shit, that's actually pretty dark. All right. But yeah, so you have Usagi kind of slowly learning to become a samurai, trying to be like his great-grandfather, and learning slowly about his great-grandfather. Like, every time he puts a yokai into the crystal, especially when he's trying to learn how to, or get the Firebird Phoenix as his master, he gets a vision every so often, gets a vision of like what actually happened during the events that would make the original Usagi be seen as a traitor. And he obviously meets some new people along the way. Don't ask me to remember this guy's name. Gen? I think his name's Gen, Spot, Miku, and Kitsune. Kitsune was easy. And also Nine Tails on the back of the fan. Nice. And basically it's them kind of working together. She's a sweeper, but then it turns out she's a little bit more than that. Kitsune's a thief. He's a bounty hunter, and he's a wannabe samurai, and then Spot's his dinosaur dog. That's okay. And they basically slowly work together, and slowly uncover the secret of what happened to Usagi, as well as putting back yokais, which also, there's a lot of like other things that happen. Like, obviously I brought up the, like, certain yokais are good, but then you also have like a yokai that possesses a car at one point, which also, their car looks like they said, like, man, it looks like a hunk of junk. It's like, really? That looks like a really badass car. And then it's like a tank almost. Like, yeah, that looks like something that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where like you'd get a tank. Like the tank playset kind of thing. They also know, because here's the thing, the only thing I don't like about this show is that it's CGI. And that's not saying anything bad about CGI. I actually like CGI. I honestly think one of the best animated shows, like right now, like it's already over. But I'd say it was like one of the best ones. It's one of the best ones, at least on Netflix, definitely, is, and that's saying something, because I love Kipo, and Kipo, when it was running, it was like, my number one, is Maya and the Three? Is it the Maya and the Three? Like, I legitimately think that is a really good, one. It's animated awesomely. I love the animation in that and all this stuff. This one, I love the animation in this too. It's not bad. Like, it's actually, it's pretty good. Though, just every time watching it, I keep bringing up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm sorry about that, because I know, like, Usagi, I think, started from his own comic that was completely different. But, I never even watched it. But I know the same people who worked on that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe also worked on Monkey Kid, which I actually want to watch too, which I haven't seen either of those shows. I've only seen clips and bits of them. Usually it's action scenes, and the animation is beautiful, and I love it. And just looking at I'm just looking at these, I'm like, I like this, yeah. But you know what would make it better? Is if you had that kind of animation added to this. I think it would make this show like oh my god, like, mind you, this is a good show. I'm not gonna go here though and rave like, this is the best animation. I'm not gonna say that. But I am going to say, I did like this show. It is fun. I would have loved it if it was more animated like that. I think it would have been kind of cool. The characters have, and mind you, this show still is able to use its CGI good. Like, because, at least for me, how I see CGI, it has its benefits where you can animate things probably faster, but then it's like animation where you can animate things where it's like animation where you can pretty much get away with almost anything, but it has limitations of it takes longer to produce the assets for it. So in a sense, you could probably make a CGI movie or show a lot faster than you could a 2D animated show. But in a sense, you lose a little bit of emotion. You probably lose some cooler fluidity or certain like aspects to it, or more cartooniness, I guess you could add to something, or more energy you could add to something. But it benefits where obviously you could reuse the same assets again and stuff like that, and you can make new things. But it is a lot more limiting in the fact of it's kind of like live action where like you need the props and everything to do it. You can probably get away with more things with CGI similar to animation, but you still need the props and everything to kind of do it or get away with it. Where animation, you could have, all right, here's 10 different bad guys and like 20 different robot designs that happen here. But in this one, which again, nothing against this one, because I mostly noticed it more in the Sonic Boom, at least first season of the Sonic Boom show, where it's like, oh, we're back in this lava pit again. Why? Or why does Eggman have the exact same robot, but it's just colored blue now? Like, this show is able to use its reused assets pretty well. Like, this thing you see like variations of this same robot like throughout the show. Like you see one with a thing there and like harvesting tools on the front. You see this construction one, so on. Like it reuses its assets that it has really well, where it's not like too noticeable. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like it's not as like, and nothing against Sonic Boom, but that is one thing that again that kind of turned me off to the first season and really had me watching the rest. Was how much things we got reused assets, especially when coming off of something like Sonic X, which, I mean, man, that's not the greatest of animation, but you can't really say that Eggman had the same robot like every single time. Like this one, yeah, they use a similar robot, but this is like a mass-produced thing that's used like, all right, I can make sense of okay, this is something like that. The animations, obviously, on the characters are still good. Again, animation-wise, I think would have been a little bit more, but, whatever. The characters I actually like the feel of this show a lot more, too, because I was wondering if they would make it, and also, like, I was wondering if they could get, like, that feel of, like, a samurai movie kind of into it, and they actually do, through multiple ways, like, the background, like, whenever they do, like, flashbacks or something like that along lines, they have like this like 2D CG, this 2D like stop motion, not stop motion, but this 2D like it's almost just like a picture kind of thing. Look at Owltown, you'll see what I kind of mean. I guess it's kind of like that where it's like oh yeah, and just like it's not really animation. It's like here's a picture of the thing like this, and the next picture is him like across the room slicing a guy in half. It's kind of like that. Like, and mind you, that's a classic samurai but that's also kind of like how a lot of this kind of is like that. And it's really cool. Like, I think they try to make it look like painted and stuff, so it looks really nice. But yeah, like it's still pretty good. Like all the the animation on it is still pretty good. And like the certain 2D animation, mind you, like I don't think I ever brought up Arcane, but I'll probably do a review on that later. Like Arcane, I legitimately think is also a really good show, and I love that one for like when it uses 2D and like 3D and that as well. The animation that is freaking Oh, I love that show. I at some point I'll make it. I'll make a review of it probably when season 2 is about to come out. But this show is bad. I like the mythology of certain things. Like one, like the keystone is like a big factor of this whole thing, and it's like, oh my god, someone might try to steal the keystone, and the bear guy's like, yeah, no, it legitimately cannot be stolen. Like they're like, what do you mean it legitimately can't be stolen? It's connected to the earth. Like it's legitimately cannot be stolen. It's connected to like this position on the planet. It can never be moved. Ever. I'm like, okay, I don't need to worry about it then. Like, mind you, at some point when like something eventually probably will pull out, it's like, oh my god, but you know, that's not. And then like, there's also a keystone in this guy's sword, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Is there gonna be like kind of a connection thing there? Which there is, but I'm like, oh man, I was kind of hoping like maybe like, you know, the sword would get like some kind of boosted power or something. Like, no. Also, I kind of called that like, yes, this yo-yo is going to be like, the yo-yo that he gets is kind of a badass thing. Like, it is way more of a utility weapon where it, you know, it looks like it's able to magnetize to anything. So, like, he could swing around with it. He can, it also can use the, catch yokais by just, like, grabbing them with it. Like, it'll hit them and just magnetize them. It's a pretty cool weapon. And even like there's some really funny bits with it. Like, what is it? There's a point where Usagi gets thrown in jail, and the jailer. I love the jailer's. Oh wait, you don't know about your ancestors? Can I ruin it for you? I love ruining stuff for people. I'm like, wow, you're a dick. But there's a point where the officer's sleeping, and Usagi's like, I got my yo-yo. Uses the yo-yo, grabs the keys, pulls it, and tries to use it on the lock, and there's no lock button. And the guard goes, those are the keys to my those are keys to my apartment. If you want to unlock that, we don't have keys on the cells. We just have this button that's right across from you. And Usagi looks at it and just goes, and just hits it with the yo-yo. Door opens, and he just knocks him out. I'm like, yeah, you're an idiot, aren't you? But that was really funny. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good. But yeah, I like he just knocks the guard out, and I'm just like, yeah, you're an idiot. The side characters are pretty. The side characters are cool. His friends are bad. Well, they're more main characters. The main characters are really good. There's a really funny bit where like they go to an arcade, they have fun, and it's like. This girl is very, very much like the, I've been raised my entire life to be a killer, but now I must learn how to have friends. I don't know. Like, he's like the big bruiser guy. Yeah, I guess he's kind of the heart of the team, I guess. But also, he's like, he has a weird quirk. Like, he likes to go to the hospital, I guess just to get taken care of, I guess? I don't know. All I know is he goes there. It's kind of weird that happens. I'm like, okay, you know, you do you, bud. You know, you do you. But I'm just like, why do you want to go there? Like, obviously, you guys must have free medical care if you would go there like almost every time and get all these tests done. You must have some good ass free medical care. And then Kitsune is, I'm trying to think. Like, Kitsune is more the wild child kind of in this scenario. Like, I'm trying to think like if. In like the 5-party band or 4, I don't know, like who would be who. Usagi's obviously the strong-headed, like whatever. But yeah, like she needs to learn how to have friends and, you know, become a good person. He has family issues. He has family problems, but he's slowly trying to rebuild like what his family like lost. She's a thief. But like she's kind of. I think she's supposed to. I don't know. Is her lesson supposed to be that she's not supposed to steal? I don't know. Or honor? I don't know. But she's a fun character too. All these characters are still pretty fun. Even Usagi, even though like it is like okay, he needs to learn his lesson, stuff like that. They even do at one point do a thing where I kind of like if you want to read a really good like isekai manga, a really really good one, go read is it Magic and Romance? I think it's called Magic and Romance. I think it's Mare, M-A-R, Magic and Romance. Is his name Ginta or Gintama? Is it Ginta? I think it's Ginta. Like, it's about a kid who basically wakes up in a fantasy world. He gets sent to a fantasy world. I can't remember exactly how. It's through a gate, a clown crown gate. No, clown crown is D. Gray, man. God, what was it? Was it the clown gate? Hold on, now I need to look this up. Hold on. Shonen Jump, Magic, and Romance. No. What was it? Hammer and Ball Chain. Talking Hammer with Ball. There we go! There it is! Alright, cool. Yeah. What is it? Martian Awakens Romance. I'm a dumbass. Martian Awakens Romance. Yeah, if you want a really good isekai, check this manga out. Mind you, I haven't read it in a minute. But, so, last time I read it was like probably 2009. Check this out. I love this manga. I love this manga a lot. I had a lot of rings all the time, a lot. Partially because of this manga. Because this manga, wow, I love it. It's really damn good. What was the point I was making? Why did Martian Awakens Romance. Why did I bring this up? I completely forgot. Martian Awakens Romance. Now I can find it fucking everywhere. Alright. Why did I bring you up? I legitimately cannot remember why I brought up Martian and Romance. Oh my god. Oh! I remember now. Because, it does Usagi does a trope that I kind of like, where it's like the training in like a subspace that, like, you know, only a few hours have passed in the real world, but here you've trained for 2 to 3 months. Although I think in Martian Awakens Romance, Ginta, I knew his name was Ginta. He trained, and I guess it's a hyperbolic time chamber too, technically speaking, could do that. But I like this one more where it's like its own kind of world instead of just being like open white void of you just punching each other. He does the whole training thing, and, you know, he comes back stronger. Like, you know, it's only been an hour, but inside this world, like, he's been like training like the entire time, and he comes back, and I like that. That was pretty cool. You know, it gives a reason for him to be stronger. Though this is one of my downsides for this show. Maybe it is probably because of CGI too. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's strong enough, so I kind of know, okay, I don't have to really worry too much. But on that same note, it's just like, it's harder to get it across that he is trained more, I guess. Other than saying, like, yeah, he's stronger now. That's kind of it. Like, I would have, like, there, or at least some kind of indication of progression. Like, if it was animated, again, I would say, like, okay, you could change his clothing maybe. Maybe he has, like, you know, a little bit more scruffed up a little bit, something. And the CGI doesn't really portray that much, which, again, is kind of but then also, like, even like the yokai train, she goes, the thing I will train is something no one unworthy should ever know. And I'm like, are you gonna teach him like how to change his sword and like different weapons or something like that? Because that's one thing that she had. But then it's like, no, it's just like, I guess he's just really good, I guess, even though he was really good before, but like he wasn't as good as he is now. But yeah, it was still pretty good. I like this show. That was probably like my only like really gripe with the show, which is not bad. The voice acting is great. Even like when they go to the arcade, like some of the games are cool, like them riding on the bike, which when he jumped the fence at one point, I'm just like, you're able to do that? I don't think they should let you do that, but okay. It's fun. It is really fun. I kind of love his sword too. I actually love some of the world building too of like, oh, how does his sword always stay on his hip? It's because like there's like little magnets on the side of his belt that kind of connect it. Even works with his yo-yo too. And I'm like, okay, I got that. I get that. And like even stuff like, again, that I like about this yo-yo too, is that like, it's not immediately recognizable as a weapon. Because at one point where he gets in jail at one time, he like, they take his sword away, obviously, but they leave him his yo-yo, and I'm like, okay, you just left him a good weapon. I'm like, that's actually really good, like a concealed weapon, almost. Well, a weapon like you don't know was a weapon. I'm like, that's actually really good thing. If you would have picked any other weapon, it would have screwed him over, but no. Dropped D12. But yeah, so that was one of them. Alright, there's some things too, like, his auntie has like a robot foot, metal foot, but I'm like, alright, that makes sense. And then she has a wooden ear, and I'm just like, why? I'm like, okay, I guess just for looks, I guess? Because I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can't hear with that, but okay. But yeah, let me check my notes real quick before I go off anything else. Looks cool in 2D. Yeah, emo crystal. Crystal in the sword. Also, there's a butterfly in the crystal too, but like the crystal's not connected to. I don't know what the keystone is. If it's like something extra magical. The Shogun, the guy who like runs the city, like he kind of walks around everything. Oh, he seems very much like a character who's like walking on like one of those things that go zzz, you move around. So like it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. He's actually really short. Hidden fees. Oh yeah, the Kitsune says at one point, "I'm not a thief. I'm a puppeteer." That Husho just has some hidden fees. I'm like, that's kind of funny. He spat out the wrapper. Oh yeah, I think the dinosaur ate the candy and spat out the wrapper. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. Ninja cats. Which is also really funny them bring up, like, they just say ninjas are the worst, they're bad, and all this stuff. And I just keep hearing that, and I'm just thinking, like, I wonder if they're gonna, because they at one point they do bring up the multiverse at one point, surprisingly. So I'm just like, I wonder if at some point we're gonna get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to come in here. And like, I get it, like Usagi's technically not supposed to be like, you know, if he's his own thing, I get that. But also, it's on the point where I'm like, you're already adding the multiverse, like, the bad guys, the big bad guys, if they turn out to be Krang's people, it wouldn't surprise me. So I'm just like, will like we could have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pop in. Like, that'd be kind of cool. Yokai Master. Respectful hacky sack. Oh yeah, when he said, yeah, they said, you be respectful to your yo-yo. Oh yeah, I'm totally respectful. Start using it like a hacky sack. I'm like, oh, that's great. Looking around. Oh yeah, Usagi looking around downtown like, oh, look at that. And like, even like, he kind of inspires his friends to kind of look around too, like, oh, that is cool. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I don't walk in the middle of the street like he does, but that's kind of me every time I went to downtown Chicago. Like, I love looking, like, I had pictures just of, like, taking pictures of buildings and stuff like that, because I love downtown Chicago. It is so damn fun. Just hate the cold. Oh, yeah, at one point, there's these bad guys, or not bad guys, they're gang, Chikabuma, and, like, they're, like, mole people who they're like, if you ever that's basically what they're referencing. If you ever watch, West Side Story, I wouldn't recommend it. At least not the new one. I don't know what the old one is, if its story is different. But West Side Story, the new one, I watched that. Oh my god, is it awful. I don't know. But in any case, it's like with the gangs that they just snap their fingers, they do the dance or whatever. They do that in this, and then they'll snap their fingers and then suddenly shoot off a shockwave of energy, and it's just like, okay. And like at one point, like they team up with the evil big yokai, the one with all the eyeballs, and they go, oh, you're gonna make us the strongest like gang in the town, right? Like, yes, you'll be the strongest because all the others will be dead. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. Yokais are aliens, probably. I'll be the most powerful crew. Yep. Honey, I was. Oh yeah, at one point, the leader of the ninja cats at one point fights Auntie, Usagi's aunt, and she goes, "Oh my god! Like, did you fight in the wars?" And the auntie goes, "Honey, I was the wars." I'm like, "Bam!" Like, go auntie. Oh yeah, Usagi killed one of the ninja cats with his own poison dart. And I get it. Like, I could tell, like, okay, yeah, Usagi's, like, almost uber powerful now. Like, cool. But also, like, again, I would have liked some kind of indicator whether, like, I don't know, like Goku training with Master Kai and just, like, oh, on the front, yeah, it's still the same, like, turtle symbol, but on the back, it's the King Kai symbol. Like, kind of something like that. Like, give some kind of indication of growth. I don't know. At one point, the cat tried to use a smoke bomb and didn't work. Don't make me knock you out again when Usagi gets knocked out. I don't think there's romance in this show, which, you know, fine with maybe, because Kitsune kind of seems to like the cat girl. But other than that, I can't really tell if there's going to be romance in this. I don't think there probably will be. Still. I love ruining things for people. Apartment keys. Why do I feel like they owe him? Oh yeah, why does his friends, like, before they even really become friends, they're like, when Usagi gets arrested, they're like, I feel like we owe him. I'm like, why? Why do you feel that? He ruined your bounty, because Usagi screwed up on his bounties. He did this, and it's like, alright, whatever. Oh yeah, retractable sword with this one guy, homophobic, cat mom. Yeah. Yeah, the cat mom's kind of homophobic. But yeah, I don't know. This show was great. I liked it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. It honestly is pretty fun. I would recommend it. Actually, wait. Do you see Usagi about to touch the crystal? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you kind of do, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, this show was great. I liked it. I definitely say check it out. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching the videos I've done. Links are on my face because there's so much videos. I highly recommend it. It is honestly a fun samurai thing. I legitimately was watching this. I'm kind of getting like the Jedi episode of Mando, or it kind of made me want to play Ghost of Tsushima again. Which, mind you, Ghost of Tsushima is a really fun samurai game. It's not a good Assassin's Creed game, but it is a fun samurai game. And it shouldn't probably go without being saying, but, you know, just I want to tell you. Those people who are like, Ghost of Tsushima is a better Assassin's Creed game. It's not. It really isn't. But it is a fun-ass samurai game. But thanks for watching for your videos. Hopefully you enjoy this, and we will. See you later. I could definitely see like them do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like crossover at some point. But yeah, this is freaking great.